Well, a very good evening to you all. Hope you're all doing well. Here we are, week 10. Incredible to think it's been that long already. But evening to you, Paul, David, Peter, Michael, Mick, Keith. Fabulous to see so many of you on already. Literally only just started, but anyway, let's start the way we mean to go on. Let's do something really, really crazy, like something like this. There we go. I thought we'd start on something a little bit different tonight, just for the hell of it. But oh no, sorry to hear that, Koos. Really sorry to hear that. Sending best wishes your way. But, wow. Well, good evening to all of you. Hope you're all good and staying safe in these troubling times. Although at the moment I'm starting to wonder if everyone's forgotten about COVID all of a sudden, with everything kicking off, rioting and various other things. But concerning times we're living in at the moment. Got to wonder what sort of world we've brought little ones into. But let's do a beautiful little song. Hopefully the balance is all good. Hopefully you can hear everything in the right sort of sound and everything. That'd be wonderful. If you can just please let me know. But I'm going to play this beautiful, beautiful song from the late great Mr. Billy Fury. As soon as I find it. It's here somewhere. There it is. It's a beautiful song. I dedicate this to a lovely lady called Kathy, who sadly passed away tail end of last year. But she was a wonderful lady, and this is dedicated to her. There we go, absolutely beautiful song. I'm just going to try and lift this camera up ever so slightly, because I know some of you follow what the guitar's actually doing, so hopefully you can see that a little bit better and it's not being cut out by the camera. No, it's still being cut out by the camera. No, hang on, bear me one moment. Talk amongst yourselves for a second. That's probably about as good as I'm going to get, I think. It's yes, very good evening to you all. Fabulous to see so many of you on. My computer's playing up still. I can't see how many people are actually on at the moment. So if anyone can give me a nod and tell me how many we've got at the moment. I think we had 175 at the peak so far. I'll re-mention it. There is a link down below for St Francis Hospice. They rang me up in the week and said what an amazing, how grateful they were for the amount of money we've raised so far. It's about £300 so far we've raised, which is a fantastic effort. So thank you very much to all of you who have donated so far. I'm going to play this next song, and this is a beautiful little track. Came from the Shadows' very, very early days, I think it was. Can't remember what year. I wasn't there, unfortunately, but this is 81, fabulous. 82, that's good, excellent. Please, brilliant news. This is a beautiful song called Blue Star. There we go, a little bit of Blue Star there. I think that was 60, 64, I want to say. Can't be sure on that one, but you have to bear with me one moment. My phone seems to be going nuts, so I just want to make sure it's no one that's messaging me asking if I'm on or anything tonight. But no, it looks like it's the family. Bear with me one moment. Okay, no, That's fine. Apologies for that. But Fool's Errand, absolutely. Let's do it. Another one from the late great Mr. Billy Fury. That's a great song. I keep calling you Labrador because that's your name, but it's difficult. What's your real name? Of course, it might be Labrador. In which case, it's yes. I like throwing in the odd miss, David, just for the fun of it. It's make sure you're listening properly. Now let's do Fool's Errand, Billy Fury. Do you really love me too? Ah. It's so frustrating. You'll notice. So I have a microphone literally just here, this, and it picks up my sound. But obviously, when I'm playing guitar, you'll hear the sound of the room and everything manually going on here. So I have to keep muting it and unmuting it, but it's on the keyboard and it does it through software. So it's good fun. But so hopefully you can all hear me now. So I was talking about guitar picks. So I use George Dennis 1.05 orange picks and have done for a long time. I think they're brilliant. I love the grips on them. I just think they're great picks. But someone on one of the forums the other day said that they're not really good. They don't like them. They don't think they're any good for the shadow sound and all that. And I found that really strange. As I say, I've used them for a long time. But I did find, so I've had this one, which is really, really dirty and really disgusting. I've been using this one quite a lot, and it works and everything's great. But I found the other day a brand new one, which hasn't been used. No problem with the pit point or anything, but I noticed really strangely there's actually quite a different sound coming out, and they're exactly the same pick, except one's an old one and one's a new one. So I mean, if I just play you a segment, see if you can hear anything difference. So that's the old one. This one just doesn't seem to. It sounds a bit more mellow and not quite as. I don't know. Maybe it's just my ears. Perhaps I'm getting old. But anyway, let's do a song. And yeah, let's do Riders in the Sky. There we go, a little bit of Riders in the Sky. Brilliant song. That was the version from the Shadows' final tour of 2004. Incredible to think that's 16 years ago already. But I remember going to that concert. I think that was the Brentwood Theatre, Brentwood Leisure Centre. The Shadows' final tour. And then I saw the Reunited tour at the O2. So bit of a difference. But okay. Excellent. It's good to see we've got so many people on at the moment. But someone mentioned about the 1.3s. Yes, they're the ones Hank used, the George Dennis, and he was certainly using that until a few years back. but I've been using the 1.05s for a while, but this one seems to just be a better pick than that one. But I have got some of the red ones somewhere, so I'll have to dig them out. But anyway, what should we do? Let's do a little bit of... Yes, let's do Theme for Young Lovers, because I know you all like this song. But, Eric, no, I used the patch, the FBI patch, and the Savage patch. They are very different. I'll give you a brief thing. So this is the FBI patch. As you can hear, it's quite a distinct echo. And then if I go to the Savage patch, it's quite a different, and it just gives that. Whereas the FBI one's quite a little bit more for that. It's too much echo for that part. But I hope that answers your query. But anyway, let's do... I know you all like this one. This is a bit of Theme for Young Lovers. And this is dedicated to anyone who's in love, by the way. Doesn't necessarily matter if you're young or old, of course. But here we go. There we go, a little bit of Theme for Young Lovers. Just going to make sure that string's not getting stuck. Seems a little bit not quite as... No, perhaps it's okay. Oh, do you know what? Pink gin, eh? I can't wait for the barbecues and cider. That's as soon as summer's here and things start relaxing a little bit. Oh, Theme from a Filleted Place. That's a brilliant song, Andy. Absolutely brilliant. Oh, David, Samba Patty. I did do that a little bit, or I was going to, but I never actually got around to doing the whole lot. I really need to start venturing out of my comfort zone and doing some of the more. I'm a big Carlos Santana fan, in addition to the Shadows, and I really want to sort of do some of that stuff. But it's time, unfortunately, a lot of the time with work and various other things. But right, can anyone tell me, is my voice in sync with the mic and the camera? Can anyone tell me, please? That'd be wonderful, because last time I did this, the mic seemed to be out of sync. But it really depends, to be honest. Depends how complex the song is. If it's quite a complex song, I can play it for a few days and mess around with it. I say a few days. I don't literally spend for a few days entirely on it. But I do. If it's quite a straightforward one, I can normally get it down in a couple of hours. But Squire in isolation, yes, absolutely. No, to be honest, I just put it back in the case to get this one out, and at the moment I'm sort of flicking around with a few of them and just trying different ones every now and then. But it's good fun. Right, so let's see if we can do some of these songs. So some Tweety Bird has asked for "Do I Know Saturday Night at the Duck Pond?" Do you know what, Michael? Funnily you mentioned that. I had a years back, not long after Britain's Got Talent, I had someone actually come up to me and say, "Did I see you on Britain's Got Talent the other night?" It's about a couple of weeks later, and I said, "Yeah, it was. It was me." Yes, that's the only time I've ever had it. Although strangely enough, I had someone who I know from YouTube, but I don't really know them as such. While I was walking around my local hospital shortly after my dad was diagnosed, so that was a little bit awkward. I was in a little bit of a state, and sort of walked through the door, and someone said to me, "You're Steve Reynolds, aren't you?" And I sort of had to put the face on a little bit, but yes, it's good fun. But right, so let's do Keith. I do sometimes. Some of the patches have got their own sort of certain sounds and certain patches that I need to follow. But for some of the slower ones and songs I do myself, I just tend to use whatever patch I think suits it, really. Some of the patches suit the song really well. I prefer a little bit more echo than probably some people do. But anyway, yes, so Tweety Bird, I think was the name of the person. Yes, do I know Saturday Night at the Duck Pond? I don't know Saturday Night at the Duck Pond, but I do know Tuesday Night at the Reynolds household, which is basically the same song. It's just it's what it's become over this time. But so here we go. Saturday Night at the Duck Pond, or more importantly, Tuesday Night at the Reynolds household. There we go. Hope you enjoyed that one. Right, Graham and Alan, I can't play Somewhere Over the Rainbow, unfortunately, because I reset my computer the other day to fix my problem with this internet, and I've not been able to sync up and get the thing off of the backing track off of the computer onto the iPad. So unfortunately, yes, I can't. Just tears go by. Do you know what, Brian? I don't know if I could play that at the moment. But the little white device, this one, that's my microphone. It's actually a Zoom H1 little handheld recorder thing. But when you plug it in via USB, it becomes a condenser microphone. So some of you watched the videos a few weeks back know I tried a microphone sort of in front of me, and it didn't. Basically, if I moved slightly away from it, it kept cutting out. So a condenser microphone picks up more of the sound everywhere. And the great thing is, it's just sitting on my desk here. Just you know, I could move it, but it would make a lot of noise if I move it. But so it's just sitting there, and there's the iPad as well. But right, so you want a bit cosy, do you? Okay, are you all sitting comfortably? Yes, Trouble, the Squire is well and truly quarantined at the moment. I'm going to dig it out the next couple of days again, because it needs a restring and a bit of a sorting out. But it is time for a Fender Steve Reynolds signature Strat. It wouldn't be too different to Hank's basically, but it would be blue rather than this colour. My favourite guitars are 2-post trems, gold hardware, bird's eye maple neck locking tuners, the same as Hank's Strat, but I do like my blue bursts colours, the Burns and stuff that I've got, and my blue Alan Brayson. It's just a great guitar, and it looks gorgeous. Every time I look at that guitar, I feel very very lucky that I had it built, and it's right. Where were we? Cozy. That's the one. I'll do this. This is especially for you, Kus. In light of your recent news, and say we wish you all the absolute best with everything there. I really hope everything goes well for you. I'm sure you'll be fine. But here we go, a little bit of cozy. there we go. A little bit of cosy there. Mandy, I don't know what to say with that. Funny enough, Stuart has that same problem. I think it's because it depends if they've got a YouTube account. So you can click onto YouTube and watch it, but you can't comment unless you're got a set account or something. I don't really know the answer to that, unfortunately, but yes, it's Martin, yes, I certainly have heard of the Suffragettes. I think they're brilliant. Some of the arrangements and stuff they do is incredible, and they do get a lot of support and a lot of views and stuff because they're just different, I suppose. It's yes, it's they're really good. I love their version of "Toxic" by Britney Spears, which I never thought I'd ever say, but. Ken, no, I haven't learnt Sweet Dreams yet. That's still on. Roger Cook is supposed to be sending me the tabs actually, because we're supposed to be doing a video and some stuff together. So hopefully one day that will come. I've got a few on the to-do list at the moment. But this is a beautiful song called "Cozy." That one. No, I can't, Paul. I've tried a slide once or twice, but yeah, it's not my key part, but is there much difference in sound between the Hank Strat and Hank Burns guitar? Yes, there is really. The tremolo isn't, the trem arm isn't quite as there's not so much of it, so you don't get quite as much potential on the trem to. They also sound different. I don't know what it is. They're great guitars, the Burns. I just find them really, really big and difficult sometimes to play and get comfortable with the Marvins and things. But the sound, I'll do maybe next week. I'll dig the Burns out and I'll do a video comparison. I'll do it side by side, the Strat onto the Burns and vice versa. Andy, how much was your Buddy Holly style Strat? I think the colour is called Starburst Old Fruits or something. That's the one I wish I'd bought when I had the chance. I bought that, or I say I bought it, I didn't. My parents bought it for me back in 2002, 2001. And it's actually a 1999 Fender American Standard Strat in a 3-colour sunburst. So it's got some of the early Strats were a 2-colour sunburst. This has actually got black fade into red, fade into the orange. It's a lovely colour. I added the gold hardware. It did have chrome when I bought it, but I think they were about £549 brand new in 2001, 2002. They actually faded out the American Standard range in the year 2000, and they brought in what they called the American Series, which had a few slight little differences. But mine's one of the American Standards, and it had the 2-post trem and everything, just like Hank's signature guitars he was using at the time. Hank used to use the 2-post trem, but then he fitted some different pickups, I think the Kinman pickups, and the 2-post trem he didn't really like, so he actually went to the 6-post, which is slightly wider string spacing, which caused a few problems on some of his guitars because the high E string used to basically drop off the edge because it was now the E string was too far over for the fretboard that it had been set up with. I think he had a few problems, but they are lovely guitars. David, yes, I have tried a Les Paul. I've played a couple of Les Pauls over the years. Got some friends that have actually got the custom shop R9s and things like that, and they're exceptional guitars, really amazing. But they're just not my sort of thing, really. I find them too big, too heavy, too clumsy, and I prefer, personally, if I had the option, I'd go for a PRS, custom 22 or 24. I just think PRS guitars are amazing. And I've owned 3 PRS custom 24s. Sorry, not custom 24s. An SC250, which I had for a little while. A custom 24 and a custom 22, and they were they're just amazing guitars. They just do everything. They do cleans, they do distortion, they do a bit of everything. So it's wonderful, Jules. I'm glad you're on. That's brilliant. Yes, Cliff, I certainly will. Yes, certainly I can. So what you're hearing at the moment, Trouble, is the sound of the room, which is probably a bit echoey because this is just my front room, no sort of studio or anything. But yes, I will play a song. In fact, I'll do Bright Eyes if Paul's on, Paul Bulmer. If he's on, I don't think Paul Webb. Sorry, not Paul Bulmer, Paul Webb. This is one he always dedicates to his daughter, and dedicated to mine. It'll go, and I'll mute it halfway in, and you'll hear the clinking of the guitar string like I play. You'll notice a difference when that mic is picking up the acoustic sound in the room of this guitar. But anyway, dedicated to some wonderful people. My little nephew, bless him, and my little girl. This is Bright Eyes. There we go. So hopefully that sort of showed you what the difference is, and that's why when I first started doing these, I had the mic on, and it picked up. I think I had the washing machine going as well, which didn't help. But now I obviously don't have the washing machine going, and I've now worked out how I can actually turn the mic off when I'm playing the guitar and stuff. So it seems to work okay. But evening, Kevin. Hope you're good. Evening, Bluesman. Tony, evening. Lovely to hear from you. Hope you're good. I am going through so I'll give you a quick rundown. This is an Albatross and Stratocaster with Seymour Duncan Antiquity pickups. These are gauge 11s, I think 11s. I'm going into a Zoom G3X, not to be confused with the Zoom G3XN. This is the older version, the Zoom G3X. And that then goes into the Boss Katana 50 Mark 1, which I've had for a couple of years now. I've been using that for quite a while, and then that goes into the computer. So that's literally it. That's the same setup I use if I'm going live. I have got a Vox AC30, but I don't use that unless we're doing gigs that need a shadow specific look to them. So this does the. Andy, the String of Hits album, I believe, was a Hank Strat from the 80s. He had the 70s, a black Fender Strat, and I believe he was using an Roland RE301 and either a Mesa Boogie amplifier or possibly a Vox of some sort. I know he had a Vox at the time. But certainly in the late 80s era, when they did the live at Liverpool show, Hank was certainly using by then he was using a 58 red Strat, a Roland RE301 and the Mesa Boogie amplifier. He's changed amps quite a lot over the years, Hank. Originally it was an AC15. He was then going to the AC30s. Then in the 70s, 80s era, he went to Mesa Boogie. Now he uses a combination of either a matchless DC30, I believe, or a Vox AC30, but he also, for a period in the mid-2000s, was using a KCP amp, which was designed for him. And I think he used a Pinnacle amplifier as well, which was also another amp designed for him. And there's a couple of other amps. He's experimented quite a lot with his sound over the years, but so I hope that answers your question. I doubt it, Paul. I think I don't know. To be honest, you probably could get the patches for the Zoom G3 and manually key them in, but I know the software is completely different in terms of how you load them onto the computer, so you can't just import them and then import them out. The G3XN doesn't have quite the same power as the G3X. It's quite a different sort of setup really, but that's very kind of you, Tony. Thank you very much. I have no idea what kind of antiquity pickups these are, Trouble. I just know that I only know that because I took the pick guard off when I bought this guitar. It actually had a 3-ply pick guard, and to be period correct for Hank's sort of style, it should be the single ply. So I changed it, and it looks just like Hank's original guitar. Apart from this Wilkinson trem, it should have a normal Fender trem on, but it's close enough. Right. Yes, I'll tell you what, Mandy, I'll do that for you now. So I think you probably all know by now, but I'm going to tell you again anyway, because it's a bit of a proud moment for me. Back in 2014, I was on Britain's Got Talent, and I've said it before, but it's not quite the same as you see on telly. It's very different. It's all completely set up, and but I got through to appearing in front of the judges, Simon Cowell, David Williams, Alicia Dixon and Amanda Holden, and I was literally thrust on stage with my amplifier and echo box, had to plug it all in and switch it on in front of them, and no sound check or anything, just stuck a microphone in, and I was petrified. I was really, really nervous, but I played this song, and very big thank you to John Stallard for creating the backing track specifically for me. This is my version of The Wind Beneath My Wings, and this is dedicated to Mandy's mum and Irene, I think someone just saw. Yes, I'll certainly play it for Irene. So this is my version of Wind Beneath My Wings. There we go. That's a beautiful, beautiful song, and dedicate that to my dear old dad. Very proud moment for me when I was on the television. I think it was April the 19th, 2014, something like that I want to say. But I was on the main show for about 2 minutes, and I was on the Britain's Got More Talent about 5 weeks later, because ironically when I was on stage talking to them out front, Simon Cowell actually choked on a mint, and there was quite an iconic scene where David Williams had to go and give him the Heimlich manoeuvre because he was choking. But yes, good fun. Anyway, you want a bit of an old carol, do you? Let's see if I can do it. Where is old carol? Oh carol, I am but a fool. Darling, I love you. There it is. It's not going to open in the right program. I still can't play this one off by heart yet, but you all seem to like this one, so let's do it. Bit of old carol. the echo goes on and on and on. Brilliant. It's, Crying in the Rain. I don't know. Don't know if I even have I done that one. Don't even know if I've ever played that, to be honest. It's right. So is my voice? I think I asked earlier, but is my voice in sync with the camera and the backing track, or this what you're hearing? Because if it doesn't, then it doesn't work. It sounds horrendous. But hopefully, if it is, I'm going to have a go at this one. I apologise in advance because I'm not a singer at all. I don't sing even with the band or anything. But I'm going to do this one for you now. This is a bit of Move It.
Mississippi. Fireflies in the night, bullfrogs croaking. Here come the train, boy, yes, she's smoking. Heading out from New Orleans and play to LA. Better get her ready, it's a brand new day.
There we go. All good fun. There's two reasons why I don't sing. One, I can't, and two, I often forget what I'm playing. But never mind, all good fun. But someone asked for Shindig earlier, and let's do Shindig. So middle pickup for this one. So here we go. Shindig. Jules, I did just sing Move It. That was the one I sang. But anyway. Oh, bear with me one moment. What, how are we doing? Yes, it's a great song, isn't it? It's I do like Shindig. Twist and shout, shake it on, baby now. How many? I'm curious. So, how many people have we got on at the moment watching? Oh, do you know what, Andy? We did try that once, but I've done it with Dave, but I need to relearn it again. But and that's a great song as well. Scenic Fox, Blue Sky, Blue Sea, Blue Me. I've recorded that once, I think, but I do need to do that one again because that was a long time ago. But, so yeah, how many people have we got watching at the moment? I'm curious. Can anyone tell me? 112, 113. Okay, not quite the dizzy heights of 175, but still good. That's brilliant. And out of those 115, how many ladies have we got watching? I'm curious because I know they always said that at the Shadows concerts, every time the Shadows played with Cliff, all the ladies turned up to watch Cliff, and all the men were watching the Shadows. And I think that's why they worked, really, because a lot of them worked. They watched a bit of it, catered to both sort of audiences, really. But wow, okay. So yes, if we can find out how many ladies we've got on tonight, I'm curious. But you want to be the stranger, do you? Okay, ask and you shall receive. There we go. Bit of The Stranger. That's another great song, isn't it? That's yes, look after yourself, Koos. Take it easy. It's Right, slow things down a little bit now. I think someone asked for this one just now. Do a bit of peace pipe. But, do you know what? It's incredible. It's so it really is. It shows how many ladies do watch. I bet if there was a young Cliff sitting here, there'd be a lot more ladies. But as it's me playing the guitar. But anyway, let's play this beautiful song. Getting a lot of interference with this guitar all of a sudden. It's really... That's the difference between noiseless pickups and not. There's without one, and there's in the middle position, so it cuts out some of the noise. So when you're actually on stage and everything's all amped up and a lot louder, this sound is so much more different. But anyway, a little bit of peace pipe. There we go. Jules, I can see your responses. I've literally just seen that one that's come through, but I think you're seeing me a little bit behind or something. I'm not quite sure what's going on, but I know there is a bit of a delay. It's for the internet and stuff, but yeah, there we go. Yes, I can certainly play Atlantis. This is a cracking tune. So come in, ladies. Who did you prefer back in the day, or who do you even prefer now? I suppose. Are you a Cliff, Elvis, or Billy Fury fan? I know I read in one of the books I was reading that if there hadn't been something, Billy Fury's manager fell out with someone who was doing the Oh Boy show or something, and if it hadn't have been for that, then Billy Fury would have been bigger than Cliff. But you know, whatever happened at the time. But I'm not sure Billy's health could have probably coped with it. Unfortunately, he was very unwell for quite a lot of his career. But fantastic singer and did some brilliant songs. Chris Isaac, absolutely. Right, this is Atlantis. start that on the right patch, shall we? Here we go, Atlantis. There we go, a little bit of Atlantis. But, oh dear, the hair, honestly, it's so warm in here tonight. It's like an oven. But, oh, Rocking with Curly Leads. That was a great album, wasn't it? I can't even, although I must admit, I can't actually recall what was on it. Hang on, let's have a look. Let's do a Google search. That'll tell me what was on it. I think I've got it somewhere, but what was actually on that album? Ah, Pinball Wizard, Jungle Jam. Yeah, there's a few on there that I've not heard of actually. I might have to dig that out again. But that was quite an edgier sound for the Shadows back then, wasn't it? They seemed to you know, have a little bit more of an edge. But no, it's half the problem, Steve, hitting the wrong notes. You do eventually get the hang of it. Once you get used to it, it's just a case of hand-eye coordination and stuff like that. But there we go. Oh, Man of Mystery. R.J. Randall. It's, to be honest, it's a lot of just playing the songs and just going over them. It's just a case of listening to the songs, and eventually you'll get the timing. For timing, I basically listen to the bass in the song. That sort of gives me my clue of when to come in and stuff, because I can always hear that above everything else. So hope that helps. Someone asked for a bit of Albatross just now, so if you're all set, let's do a bit of Albatross. And remember, you've all got to add that little bit in at the middle part. This isn't just food, this is M&S food. Here we go. Beautiful song. That yes, the chocolate pudding custard. I think it was wasn't it the orange? Oh no, it was the chocolate pudding, wasn't it, in the middle? That's oh, Les Dawson. Yes, he was. My dad did a very good impression of him back in the day. Oh, do you know what, Alan? I haven't played Once Upon a Time in the West since I recorded it. I did tab and that was it. I've never played it since. But let's do. Yeah, let's go back to the song that started it all off. But this was a bit of a patchy. There we go. Oh yeah, not too bad, Colin. To be honest, it as I've shown this before a few times, but the gallop is basically. If I take the echo off, so you're just hearing the note without it, it's. There we go. Oh, Time is Tight, that's a great song. That's as much of it as I know. But evening, Tom. Hope you're good. Good to hear from you. Yes, it's been a long time on YouTube now. I think I've done 11 years, something like that now, which is absolutely incredible. That I think my first video was it wasn't even a video. I don't think it was just a soundtrack for The Wind Beneath My Wings. I think that was the first one I posted. I then done a couple of Billy Fury ones that I'd done at the Guitar Club years back now. But I think I've been posting pretty consistently now for probably the last 5 or 6 years now, doing a song pretty much every week, if not 2 a week. I don't even know what my stats are at the moment, but I think I'm up to 9,000 subscribers now, or nearly 9,000, which is really good. Someone asked me about my favourite YouTuber a minute ago. I'm sure it was. Where's it gone? Steve, I think it was, asked me about my favourite YouTuber. It's a difficult one, that. I've done some tracks with Dave Monk, and Dave's got a lot of subscribers. I think he's got 250,000 subscribers now. He's done so many videos and songs, and they always seem to go down really, really well. And we've done quite a few videos, me and Dave. I think we're probably in double figures now. But Phil McGarrick's a great player. Really, really good player. Does a lot of songs and plays them really spot on. And I suppose there's Robbie Januasa. He does some absolutely brilliant. He's, in my opinion, the closest that I've ever heard to the sound. Him and Colin from the Rapiers are two of the people I can think of who always nail that sound. There's loads. There's so many others now. There's quite a lot of us doing it now. I think when I started, there was Burns Ernst, Dave, Phil, and I think there was another chap. I can't remember who it was now. But no, Paul. I wish it did. I wish YouTube did pay well. It doesn't pay hardly anything. Because all these videos I do, even these, because I'm using the music, the monetization will go to the people that own the copyright for the music. So I don't get anything at all for doing these videos on here, which I'm not too fussed about. I've got a day job, it pays my bills, so it's just good fun. And if we can raise some money for charity along the way, then all well and good. I have had some copyright issues, Chris. Not too many. I've never had anything blocked entirely. I have put up a couple of videos recently that were taken from the television, and some videos, the Cliff Richard documentary and things like that, where it was blocked because of copyright. But I've never had too much with that. But Amy McDonald, Martin, that's a new one on me. No, I don't, unfortunately. But right, yes, we can certainly do that for you, PT888, dedicated to all the young ladies out there tonight, and all of the slightly not so young ladies. This is a bit of Wonderful Tonight. And if you fancy learning this one, the tabs are on my website. Just a little plug. There we go, dedicated to all the ladies watching tonight. But, yes, the Art Deco patches aren't bad. They're a good starting point, I think. But they're not quite as accurate, in my opinion, as as the Echoes from the Past or Hall's Echo patches, in my opinion. But unfortunately, the Hall's Echo patches and stuff only work on certain units, and it's difficult unless you've got one of those, and now they don't make them anymore. Whereas the Art Deco patches cover a lot more different units and things, and yeah, it's a difficult one. I don't like using some of the older equipment these days, because especially some of the Elysis and stuff, they're getting on and they're having a few problems, and I just can't trust them. I use the Zoom G3X because it's reliable and I have no problems with it. But you know, at some point in the next 5-10 years, maybe that's going to be out of date and not going to be. If that fails, it's going to be down to me trying to have to source another one. So it's just difficult with gear. You need something that's sort of fairly good but reliable, and it's an awkward thing to be in, really. But right, what should we do? Yeah, let's do this one dedicated to anyone under the age of, what should we do? Set it out this week, 82. Yeah. This is the young ones. fabulous song with the longest ending in the world. Trouble, to be honest, I haven't had a Zoom G1X on for a long time. I bought one of those. They were really, really cheap. At the time, I think I paid about £30 for my one, something like that. And I bought the patches, and the patches were really, really cheap at the time. I noticed they've gone up quite a bit now. I think they're about £40 now, aren't they? They were. I think when I bought them, they were about 20. But I think they've become quite popular, possibly thanks to me in some way from the videos that I've done over the years. And so I think he's put the prices up to try and maximise the profit, really. But it's difficult. They are, they're okay. They do a job, but it depends how accurate you want to be, really. As I say, I find I've used some of the units over the years. The Blue Nebula I've had a TVS3, I've had a Hall & Collins, I've had all the Zoom units. Zoom 508, yes, absolutely. I had one of those at one point. The only one I don't think I've ever had is a Magic Stomp. But I had Q2s, quads, GTs, all of that sort of stuff. And they all do a job, and they all do it in relative ways. It really depends what you're after, really. I don't particularly like rack mount units. I only like, to me, rack mounts are great if you're in a studio or something like that. But when you're doing gigs and travelling from place to place, they're not really practical. But yes, I think amps, guitar-wise, I think we've never had it so good. As I often gig with my Zoom G3X and my Boss Katana and a guitar, and I can carry all three things in a couple of hands in and out, and no problem. But there we go. Right, let's do this beautiful song. I know you all like this one. This is Wonderful Land. Fabulous song. Right, let's do a bit of the Savage, I think. Dedicated to my good friend Mr. Stuart Watts, with one of the best right hands in the business. Driving home for Christmas, that's far too early for that. Oh, the way it's going though, it won't be long. But here we go, this is Savage. There we go. A bit of the Savage. Oh, I do love that song. That iconic scene, wasn't it? But I better do this song as well. Someone asked for this earlier and I haven't done it. In fact, there's a lot of songs I haven't done yet. But, I'm not going to go too late tonight. I was very, very tired after the one the other week. But this is a bit of Kon-Tiki. Oh, that went a little bit wrong in the middle, didn't it? Never mind. All good fun. Oh, Bougainvillea. Do you know what? I've never. I do certain songs, and sometimes they, they don't tend to do as well as some of the others. But this song surprised me actually, because the first time I heard it, I thought it was brilliant. I loved it, but I wasn't sure whether how it was going to go down, because it's not a song that people would know other than Shadowsy type people. So it was written by a guy called Dave Robinson, and I think he wrote it just when he was messing around with a new guitar that he bought, and it was named after a cruise ship, I believe, out in Cyprus that he was on, or around that sort of time, I believe. And I'm amazed that it's gone down so well. I get so many emails and things about this song. So yes, I'll do this one for you now. This is Bougainvillea. Lovely song. That's God, that comments. Right, I'm going to do a couple more, and then I really am going to have to say good night to you all, because it's getting a little bit late and I'm getting a little bit tired in my old age. But this is Futzapper. There we go. Hopefully a few of the songs that that you all know and love. Yeah, someone asked for this next song, so I better play it, I suppose. Of course, this is the reason why we're why these have become quite a big thing, because there's nothing else going on at the moment, unless you're out rioting or something. Of course, the current coronavirus thing, which it looks like we're starting to get back to some sort of normality. But of course, we must never forget the people we've lost, people that have been deeply affected by it, all those wonderful NHS workers, what they've seen and gone through over this last 10 weeks has been horrendous. There's no denying that. I'm sure they're going to need a lot of support and stuff going forward, but I'm only hoping my computer hasn't now crashed just when I wanted to do this song, because I think it might have done. I think my internet good fun. Talk amongst yourselves for a minute. This computer's really giving me a lot of problems these days. No, it looks like you're all still here. So now, is that going to work again? Let's try again. Right, yes, it has worked. So this is dedicated to all those wonderful NHS nurses, doctors, the hell they've been through this last 10 weeks. And so I think they've done a fantastic job, and never ever be forgotten. True heroes. This is You'll Never Walk Alone. must never ever forget this time. It's been tough. Not gonna lie. It's been a struggle for everyone, including myself. Very lonely times and very sad, upsetting times. But thankfully, touch wood, we've made it through. So let's hope things start calming down a little bit, and we'll be going on to some better times. But right, I'm going to play one more song for you now. Thank you very much for joining me all. It is really appreciated. So week 10. If you haven't donated and you would like to donate, links below. Really appreciated. As I say, we've raised nearly £300 for St Francis Hospice. I wouldn't be doing this without my dear old dad. God bless him. I wouldn't have picked up a guitar without him. It was all for him. And so this is the song Always Finish On, dedicated to my dear old dad, The Wonder of You. Dear, fantastic evening. And say, if you don't follow me on Facebook, that way up there, Instagram is also the same. So if you can please give me a like, share, thumbs up. It's all supported. All your support's really appreciated. I hope you've enjoyed these as much as I've enjoyed doing them. It really has been 10 weeks of hard times, and these have got me through. I hope they've helped you, but you know, we will get through it all. But I'm gonna do one more. Do you want a fast one or do you want a slow one? I'm gonna do one. This is the last one. Do you want a fast one or a slow one? I'll tell you what, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to do a bit of Diana. assuming I've got it. Yeah, let's do it. Bit of Paul Anka and a bit of Diana. I want you to all sing along, because I know you like this one. Assuming my computer hasn't crashed again. I'm asking it to do a lot, opening 2 pages. Yeah, let's do it. It's working. This is a bit of Diana. Good night, God bless. See you next week. Thank you very much, all. Take care. Good night. And I'll see you all next week. Stay safe. Look after yourselves. 3, 2. See if it works. 3, 2, 1.